Um, yes, I understand. I do a small video just explaining. I spent too much time on this. I'm a volunteer on Wikidata, and I really like the Europeana idea, but I think they need much better communication and help desks and tasks and so on. Um, the sad thing with this Carl Larsson, what I start to do is that I listen to something from Lisbon where they spoke about that now we have a stable identifier, and then I uh, requested to get this Wikidata Wikidata property for Europeana created. So new Wikidata entity proposal. So that was 7704. And what I did then was that I loaded 160,000 of them into Wikidata. So for example, Anders Zorn, a Swedish person, he's 61829. So this is him. And if we, what, the API I had problem because the key, just the demo key worked, and I requested a key and that key didn't work. So if we look at him, we can maybe see that this person is same as Wikidata Q209. So they tell me that I'm on a page for agent 61829, and that page is same as, I'm unsure. Wikidata, here we have it, Q9, yeah, it was correct. So if we click on that one, maybe I go to Wikidata. So this is the Wikidata person, and the Wikidata person has property P7704. So they tell us our person here is the same as 61829. The problem is that the matching in Europeana, at least for this Carl Larsson, and when I listen to the people from the English Wikipedia, they see a lot of problems. So what we did then is that I did web scraping of all the pages, 160,000, and that you can follow on this item here. So my guess is that they did this, took all those in the 160 people agents from DBpedia, and I think they are now setting up some kind of possibility to add new people, for that's not possible to create new. But that's a little bit outside what I understand. They also have no change management, which we need when we start doing entity management, as I tell it, because they have 1200 errors, which means they reference a person that is deleted in Wikidata. So that's also lesson learned, that you need to have change managing, tracking what's happening. They also, in Wikipedia, we have disambiguation pages, that we have one name, Carl Larsson, but that object is not the person. It's just say that we has more people who has this name, and they are reference also that. So that I added yesterday. here. So we have 253 objects in Wikidata where we have a Europeana property, but this Europeana property points on a page like Q417496. And if we look here, we have a disambiguation page. So that's not a person. So here we have the answer could be something else. So that's an error. And the problem is that we can't track what the people over at Europeana is doing, because at least I have problem finding that they have some workboard, what they are doing. So then we have problem that items in Wikidata are deleted. After that, I did an activity after loading all those things. I did an activity with the Swedish Wikipedia, and I created a Europeana template, which means it goes down and takes the value of 7704. So if we look at Adolf Hitler, we can see that I have added a template here. So this template is just Europeana, but it goes down to Wikidata and finds the agent number. So when I click here, we will see that we have 157588. What we have done with BG, which is Bulgarian, is that we have added it to 4,378 pages. And the way it's done is that we have used the authority template on here. So here you can see they have added Europeana, and for this person they have a link to agent 147520, and that should be the same person. And if we look on this page, we will see it's same as Q3157. So if I go down here to Wikidata, we can see it's the same as. So this was done for Bulgarian and Russian. Maybe they have a version here. Yes. So the Russian people also added to this template. Is called authority template, and they should have Europeana somewhere here. There you have it. So when I click on this, it's 14750. So they use it. And then we have it for Spanish. So they have added, here we have agent base. For the English version, I created a template, started use it, got complaints. Template talk Europeana, maybe. Poof. So this was the template I created, and it is no, the template I created was called entity, I think. Like that. And that is deleted now after we having some discussion. And the people, and I agree, somewhere we have this colossal problem, and some countries are doing an excellent work. So here they said the quality is not good enough, please delete it, and they deleted it. It goes fast on the English Wikipedia. The sad thing with Carl Larsson is let's see here if I can find it. That this is the Swedish Wikipedia. The photographer is very well documented. And if we go to another site, which I think is the site where we are harvesting, then you can see that this is the authority number for Carl J. Larsson, and that's the photographer. And if we jump into the digital museum, they use this authority here. So they have control. So in this case, they have bought 1 million pictures, but I think, so you can see maybe how many they have. They have 3,000 connected. So all those items here are created by this photographer. Or if we should be, that's not true, because he had a company. So I think here we have the problem with linked data. As he died 47 and he had 20 employees, should we say that he produced it or that his company produced it and so on, and then we should have some match. But the most important thing is this is not the painter Carl Larsson. So my understanding is that these items here are harvested, and see if we can find them. No. Maybe not everything is uploaded. But we can go to we can do a Carl Larsson. If I do a text search, Carl Larsson, then this is the famous Carl Larsson. He's very famous. This is not the painter. So even an unskilled person like me can understand that. We can see that this is picture from Gävle, which is not far away where he lived in Dalarna, but it's not the same Carl Larsson. And his real name, and you can see now he's connected to this person created. And my understanding is that everything is moved. You have this authority for this person, then it's moved through the aggregator up to Europeana, and then somewhere it's text strings Carl Larsson, and then someone is doing the bad decision to say that every Carl Larsson from Sweden is the same person, and the correct way would be that this item should be moved together with all the objects up to Europeana, and for this item they should create a new agent. But I think that needs a lot of skills, a lot of process management and so on, and I've been spending time with Wikidata now for 2-3 years, and I see the same problem with museum, with libraries and so on, that we don't have this possibility to track what people are doing, and also we see a lot of mistakes, and it's also rather complex. So this one is, for example, from Järnvägsmuseet. It's from the AM Railway Museum in Sweden, and I'm 100% sure this is Carl Larsson, and this photo is from 1936, they think, and that means it's later than the painter when he passed away in 1916, and it's from outside Gävle, where this photographer had this location. The challenge I see more and more is I have started doing a lot of work with those people. From the Swedish Digital Museum. So this is, I guess, from item from Digital Museum, and they tell me it's a Nils Jakob, and they have done some, they don't have an authority for it, which I think is wrong. But when I move it over to Wiki Commons, I add structured data to it. See if we can, no, here we have. So I get structured data here. Then we have the Digital Museum ID. That's the ID of this item. It's not excellent, but we can take that later. And then I also say this is Nils Jakob Kellerstedt, which is a Q number. So that we say that it depicts. I think maybe we can do the same here. Because now Wiki Commons use a Wikibase installation that is have the same concept as Wikidata. Here we have. So the object name here is M88115517 for this one. And then we start having depicts. And my feeling is if we find it usable to describe pictures, then we need to have also those entities that is depicting something, it's created by someone and so on, and then it gets extremely difficult. Because the best way of doing this, I feel, is if we take the Q number here. Here we have the Digital Museum ID. We can we can do a search here saying has VB statement something depicting this. But if I do something like that and I go out here and find this one, and we can see it's P7704. That means that find every item with this number for that property. And yes, that's the cool thing. So the cool thing here is that this property is reused from Wikidata. So here we get one hit in Wiki Commons, and this is a federated search in Wikidata. And the reason because we get this hit is that this picture, as we saw in this metadata here, had this ID. And if we go to Wikidata, the reason we got it here is that I also have added it to the object, which maybe is not the correct, but I have done it. Here we need a lot of dialogue, but my feeling is that the next step is that if we take over this person here, they should have a data round trip and receive this information. They have rather good information here, but it's text string. But if we look what we have here on this person, we could maybe find him here on the Q number. We have also place of birth, we have the place of burial, and we have children and so on. So we have much, much more that could maybe add value for Europeana, for this digital museum and so on. So that is what we see now, which I a little bit hesitate if it's a good pattern or not, is that we are so enthusiastic that we have 2 million pictures searching as text strings. And when I did request a key for this CC0 stuff, and my understanding was that it's just text search. So if I write Carl Larsson here, it was better than I expected. Because I guess this is at least the home of Carl Larsson, but that's the famous Carl Larsson. But as you see, I think this is the tags. So it's Sverige in Swedish, so it's not linked data, is my understanding. So if you... So that's crazy. But the cool thing when we look in Wikidata, if we are happy, we can see that we have maybe, oh, this is just in those languages. But we get it in more languages and so on. Well, that's also something that needs to be. Should Europeana be used in Greece? Why shouldn't we be able to search in Greece? And why should we be able to search on Swedish or Brädgård? Brädgård is maybe not a Wikidata object. No, here maybe it is Tambejard. And then it's getting so complex. If they create Tambejard, add it to a picture, we need to have it, or say that it's same as or not same as. So there's a lot of possibilities with linked data, but I think it's extremely difficult. And we don't understand how difficult it will be when we have different open systems that should communicate. And my feeling is that today it's impossible to communicate. And as you see, I do my own hobby here. I try to track everything that we have backlog in progress and so on, so everyone can see. But I don't see this implemented at other places. Good, a long video, but please don't hesitate to contact me.